Due to COVID-19, there are a lot of new laws that have been enacted to help workers. And here to explain some of them is Charlie Casartello from Pellegrini, Seeley, Ryan, and Blakesley. Hi, Charlie.
Good morning, Adam.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Emergency Paid Sick Leave Act?
Sure. Congress, in response to the pandemic, enacted a series of new laws, and one of them was the Families First Coronavirus Relief Act. And that law contained a number of provisions, but created two new benefits for workers. And I'm here to talk about the Emergency Paid Sick Leave Act.
Terrific. Now, who's eligible for that?
Well, any full-time employee of an employer who employs less than 500 employees. And the worker making a claim for the paid leave has to be unable to work or telework, and then subject to one of 6 categories of qualification.
Can you run through those categories for us?
Sure. The first is that if you're unable to work because you are quarantined or under an isolation order, typically enacted by state or local government. The second category is if you've been advised by a healthcare provider to self-quarantine in reaction to the COVID-19 illness. The third is that you're sick with COVID-19 or have symptoms and are seeking a diagnosis from a medical provider. Those are the first 3 categories, and they're important to distinguish from the bottom 3 categories because the rate of pay for the leave varies based on each category. The fourth one is that you're caring for a person diagnosed with COVID-19 or a person who's subject to quarantine. The fifth is that you're caring for a child whose school is closed or whose child care provider is closed or unavailable because of COVID-19. And the last category is really a catch-all, and it's that the worker is experiencing a substantially similar condition to coronavirus.
What about the benefits? Can you explain how that works and how much people can receive?
Sure. Before I get to that, Adam, I'll just mention that there are some exclusions from coverage of the Act. Apparently, Congress decided that people on the line, healthcare providers and first responders of all of the essential workers are possibly excluded from coverage of the Act. So if you're in one of those categories, I would encourage the worker to seek more information about entitlement.
Okay, great.
But if you are entitled to a leave, then you are entitled to up to 2 weeks or 80 hours of leave. And the leave is paid at 100% if you are quarantined, advised to self-quarantine, or actually sick with COVID-19 or coronavirus. You're paid up to 2/3 of your pay for up to 2 weeks or 80 hours if you're caring for a sick person or a quarantined person or caring for a child whose school or daycare is closed, or you're experiencing substantially similar condition to COVID-19. There's an additional benefit payable, but only for a person who's caring for a child whose school is closed or whose daycare is closed or unavailable. And that's an additional 10 weeks of pay at 2/3 the rate. So a person in that category actually gets up to 12 weeks of paid leave.
Okay, great information. If people wanted to find out more, where could they go?
One really good source of information is the Department of Labor, Federal Department of Labor website, and this is the website address. But it's as simple as putting in paid family leave, and eventually a person will get to the right information. But I would encourage anybody to look at the DOL website and other authorized providers of information as the best source of what rights and entitlements are.
Okay, very good. Charlie Casartello from PSRB. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning.
Thank you, Adam.